Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be talking again about the Switch, but a little bit different video here. I'm going to specifically be talking about a Switch controller. I just bought this generic Switch controller off of Amazon. I paid right around $15, of course the prices can vary on Amazon, for this specific model. And so what I'm going to do in this video is show you me using this controller, how I prefer it to the more expensive controllers, the actual Joy-Cons that the Switch comes with, and those sorts of things as well. So let's go ahead and hop into the full review of this Switch controller and whether I think you should buy it or not. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up this controller, and inside it just has this little box. This is actually the Dino wireless controller. As you can see, it's just a generic. They have a bunch of different ones on Amazon that you can choose from. This is the one I went ahead and got. It comes with the controller inside, and then also the instructions on how you connect it up to the Switch. Now, one thing to note about this generic controller, I have another one that I bought that's the exact same brand that I've been testing out the last couple of weeks. And one thing to note is that you can't push the home button to power on your Switch using this controller, like you can with the Joy-Cons. So you do have to manually turn on your Switch. So that is a downside of this controller. But let me go ahead and show you how to connect it up to the TV, and then I'll show it in use, and then tell you my opinion on whether you should get this one or not. One thing that is important for you to note when you're going to connect this controller is that you do need another controller to get into your Switch. Because to connect it, you actually have to go over to turn it on, and then go over to the controllers, and then go to change grip order. And so that's how you first connect this controller to the TV. So you have to actually have a controller using your either regular Joy-Cons or a different controller to get to this portion of the Switch. Once you got into this section, the next thing you're going to do is push the home and the Y button at the same time on your brand new generic controller. This is the Dino one. And then what will happen is it'll search for the Switch. So you'll have the little red lights, and as you can see there, it pairs with the Nintendo Switch, and you can now use this controller to play the games on your Switch, just like you would your Joy-Con controller. As you can see here, it does come with a full set of instructions that are actually relatively easy to understand. It walks you step by step on how to connect it to your TV, or your Switch I should say, and then it also shows you instructions on how you can change the vibration settings, how you can adjust turbo speeds, all of those different things, and the functionality that are built into it. So having that all in the instructions is really helpful. Another thing that's nice about this controller is that it connects and charges via USB-C. So once your battery pack dies in this, which it lasts a good long time, once that happens, you can charge it with USB-C, which is the exact same thing as your Nintendo Switch. So it does come with a charger as well. It just comes with a little cord. You can plug it in using like a phone charger, those sorts of things on the little box from your phone, so that plug the USB-C in and charge it with that. Or you can simply use the Switch one as well, just pop it out of the back of your Switch dock and plug it right in, and it charges using that method as well. When it's on, you will have a red light here in the middle. I still have it connected up to the Switch here behind me, so that's why it's still on. And that means it's connected. If you're player 1, it'll be in the first spot, player 2, the second slot, all the way down to player 4. Once the battery needs charge, it will start to flash at you, and then it'll give you a notification up on screen that it needs to be charged as well. What will happen when you plug it in is it'll flash on and off as it's charging. When it's done charging, the lights will go off entirely. Now, this is a review of this specific controller, and it's honestly a really good option. I purchased 2 of these different ones that I use for my children when they're playing, rather than taking a chance on them breaking the more expensive Joy-Con controllers. And like I said, these are between $15 and $20 on Amazon. I will leave a link to those in the description below. One downside to these controllers is that the buttons don't feel exactly the same as the Joy-Con, and the size of it is considerably bigger than just having the Joy-Con controller. As you can see, it has more of the traditional grips down here at the bottom, rather than being skinnier like the Joy-Con will be when they're on the controller that comes with your Nintendo Switch. So if that's something that bothers you, you're going to probably want to keep using the Nintendo Switch one. You're not going to want to use this aftermarket one. However, this does feel and look similar to what an Xbox controller does. So if you're used to playing on Xbox, this controller probably won't cause an issue for you. And it does have all of the functions and functionality of the regular Switch controller. The Pro does those sorts of things. However, with this controller, you can't use it for playing Mario Party. and that's simply because it doesn't have the functionalities for Mario Party. For that, you will need the actual Joy-Cons themselves. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're looking to get controllers to play Mario Party with friends, this is not a good option. And none of the other regular full-size controllers will work with Mario Party either. You'll have to actually buy an extra pair of Joy-Cons if you're looking to add extra people in to play on Mario Party. So that's something to consider in how you're using it as well. Would I buy this? Well, I already did, obviously. But if I were to go back and buy it again, would I buy this specific controller? And my answer is yes, I really would. Simply because for $15 to $20, these controllers in this price range work perfectly. They have a good long battery life, and they don't have any specific issues or problems that I've encountered. The only thing that I have encountered is my son was playing on the Switch while eating, and so he got my other controller kind of sticky. And so that's caused some of the buttons to stick a little bit. And all I did was I took a baby wipe, wiped it down, got that around those things, and that helped it out. But every once in a while, that's been an issue. So you'll probably want to avoid having your children eat while playing the Switch, while using these controllers, as that can happen too. Now, this has been a review of this specific generic controller that you're able to find on places like Amazon. If you want a full comparison of all of the different controllers, I have another video here on my channel that I will link to right up here, and you can click on that to see a full review of 5 different controllers, including this one, paired against each other. We're duking it out, seeing which one comes out the best. I do a full drop test in there as well to test how this one survives as well as all the other controllers survive, and whether it's worthwhile to spend the $50, $60 for the Pro controller, or if just getting this generic controller will work just fine for you as well. So be sure and check out that video. Also, if you hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel, it really does help us out a lot and allows other people to see these videos as well. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Have a great day.